All right, cool. Hey, everybody. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up Acrorip 10.5 for the Epson EcoTank ET-8550. This is going to be the third part of converting it to a DTF printer. This is basically just setting up the Rip software. So the program that you'll be using so that you can do the DTF printing. All right. And basically what this program does, it allows you to print white behind your design so that your images are vibrant on the materials that you're doing the printing on. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go up here to view, or actually I got to open the file real quick. Open a new one. So, desktop. We're going to be using this file today. Cool. So you can't see it right now. Yours will probably look a little bit different in the beginning. I have mine set to like absolute 0 everything. So that way I can go ahead and show you guys the numbers. So first thing, I'm going to go up here to view, and then I'm going to scroll down to template, and I'm going to set it up. I'm using 13-inch paper. So I've been using 13 by 19. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put it back to what it was. Okay. I'm going to use the actual numbers that were given for the with this printer, and it's going to be 12.677. So even if you're using 13 by 19 paper, these are probably about the widest you'll be able to print. And so width was 12.677, and the height is going to be 16.929. Cool. So intervals, I'm not doing anything with those. Same with the start and the X. I'm just leaving those as is. Steps and X steps, Y steps, gonna leave that is. Angle 0, and the line width is gonna be normal. And so I'm gonna go ahead and press apply. You can also save it, so that way you don't have to go ahead and that way, in case you ever change it or use different size paper, you can just save it, and then that way you can just change it whenever you need it. So this one, I'll go ahead and push apply. And okay. So next. Cool. All right, next we're gonna start with the layout tab, and then we'll work our way to the white. So first we're gonna start with the paper size. We're going to use the same numbers we used for the template. It's going to be 12.677. For printer length, we're going to use the same as the template as well. It's going to be 16.929. My computer's a little slow because I'm recording. There we go. Okay, cool. There's the image now. So next, we're starting with the output position. So if you change it right here, this will change what it does across. the position across. Right here will change how far it is down the sheet. And so right now I'm setting it at 0 for the across, and then 0.1 for the down the sheet. Next, we're doing the output size. So output size, you want to make sure it's always a little bit smaller than the template size, and also the paper width of the printer. So set at 10.3. Next, the equal proportion. This is if you want to change one side to a certain position and not adjust the other. So if you want to adjust the width without adjusting the height, then you can change the equal position to false, just like I'm doing here. Yep. So I'm going to set it at 10.5, and I'm going to keep it true. So it'll automatically adjust it and keep it proportionate of the image. Next, this is repeat. This is just if you want to have multiple repeats of the same image. Then the X will do what it is across. So right now I just rotated it. There we go, and I changed the spacing. So that's if you wanted to do it across. This is if you want to do it down the sheet. Then you would change the Y. And just remember, you need to leave at least about 1.5 inches at the bottom, so that way your image gets fed through, especially if you removed your rollers. Cool. And then most importantly, that make sure you mirror the image. If you don't mirror your image, whatever you print will be pretty much useless for printing, because it'll always be read backwards for the most part, unless it's like a symmetrical image. I think those are still, I don't think it doesn't matter for those, but for the most part, if it's especially text, it'll always be backwards. So always make sure you mirror your images. It'll save you a ton of paper. And then this last feature is just the pattern. Basically, if you want to have it one side go one position and one go the other, then you could just add this on there. But I'm going to keep it normal for now. And cool. So that's the layout tab. Next, we're going to move on to the printer tab. And for the printer, we're going to make sure we select the ET-8550. For the port, want to make sure you select the the ET-8550 that you're printing with, so make sure it's the correct printer that you have connected. For media, go with transparencies. In the video that I'm recording right now, I couldn't decide what I wanted to go with, but I think transparency works best so far. I seem to be having more success with using the transparency media type. So yeah, make sure to choose that one instead. You guys could still try other ones, but that's what I'm using right now. And then for resolution, this is just the quality of the print. The higher you go, the longer it's going to take to print, and also the more ink it will use, but you may get like a little bit better of a image quality. So maybe if you're doing like single sample images or something like that, maybe print that. But for the most part, 14x40 is what you're going to be using for both. You can maybe even do 720 for the color. For the feeding, always make sure you got rear tray. And also, oh, I forgot to mention, but make sure check paper sizes off. That one's important. Wave, we're gonna make sure that is off. Media or ink, we're gonna do mixed for both. That's what I'm using for now. You guys can use different ones for now and see what works best. From what I believe the difference is the amount of ink it uses, drop size. So if you're using, like, say, wanting to print on a hoodie or something, you would use the like medium to large or medium to heavy or something like that for that. But next we're going to move on to the color tab. So I set my so in the first video when I filled up my inks are set to white, black, cyan, yellow, magenta, white. Although in Acrorip, in order to get it to print correctly for the channels, I have to set it for black, white, cyan, yellow, magenta, white. So the only difference is, although my photo black channel has black in it and my black channel has white in it, these are the only settings that I seem to get for both channels to print white. So it's gonna be black in the first channel, white in the second channel, but you're still gonna have in your ink tanks, in your ink tanks, you'll still have the same setup which is white in the black channel and then black in the photo black channel. So, but for the Acrorip settings, this is it. This is black, white, cyan, yellow, magenta, white. All right. And then once you have it set, just go ahead and press save. I may cut this part out a little bit. He's just talking. Okay, next I'm doing 30 for the color. the higher you go, the more ink it will use. Right now, this is my current setup. And then for the ICC profile, I set it off for now, but actually the ICC profile that they have in there, the Acrorip has in the default folder, the def CMYK, that one seems to work pretty well for printing most of the images I've come across so far. That's the image, that's the ICC profile I've been using. So that's pretty much it for colors. Next we're gonna move on to, oh wait, no, that's not it for colors. Next, you can also adjust the brightness. So if you print out an image is a little too dark, you could adjust how bright it is at the bottom here, and then you can also adjust the contrast of the image as well in the color tab. All right, next we're going to move on to the white tab. We're going to look at, so the first thing up here is the white layer generation. This is what makes DTF possible. This is what allows you to print white under the image. Most of the time you're going to be using 100% white under any colored pixel. So this will print white this will print a white background on the entire back of the image. So I'll go ahead and show you what it actually looks like. So this is what it will look like, a sample of what the white will look like behind the image. So there's still color in front of the image, but this is what the white will look like behind it. And then sometimes you can also do, like, say if you're doing like a lighter color shirt or like white shirts, and you don't need as much white, you can do a gradient white under any colored pixel. Yeah, if you're doing like either lighter color shirts, then you could use like a gradient white. This is the fill in all area, so to print a complete white box behind the image. I don't think you'll really ever use that. Maybe unless you're printing like a portrait or something. Yeah, and here's just another sample. So this is what it will look like if you do the fill all area. So instead of printing just around the design, it's gonna print a full background. Okay, so okay, so we're doing 100% white. You can remove the black ink from an image right here if you check this box, and then just slide how much black you want to remove from the image. So if you're using like a black shirt or something, you may not need as much black. You can go ahead and use that function. For this image, we're not going to use that. For the white ink gradient, I haven't used the function too much. Still playing around with that one, so I'm just going to leave that as default for now. Another cool function that Acrorip has is you can change the background color for the image that you're going to be, or for the material that you may be printing on. So if you have your colors, your color code for the material you're going to be printing on, you can go ahead and input it in here, and then change the background to that color. Most of the time I'm printing on white or on black. Yeah, usually black tees or hoodies and stuff. So, but right now I'm messing around with the white channel settings. You can disable and enable the channels right here, and then channel 1 is your first white channel, channel 2 is your second white channel. So whichever one comes first in your ink channel settings is going to be your first one and second one. So all right, then the last thing is your choke. This is what prints like a little white background. This is what prints like a little, I think, kind of layer around the image. So the higher you go, the more it will print. The smaller you go, the less it will do that. For smaller text, you definitely want to use a smaller choke. I'm using 2, and I found that to be pretty good for most of my images. I was using an 8, and I had issues with a lot of my images tearing, especially like the small texts. The small text from images were being teared, or not coming off when I would peel. So 2 seems to be working right now for me. Cool. So that is the white. Next, we're going to move over to print. So this is basically just a review of all the settings we just went through and set up. You can also then go back and change. If you change your mind and want to do a different type of white layer, you can. From here, you can also enable and disable the white channel still. And then the next thing, so then we're going to move down here. We have one white setting and one color setting. If you can't get to the color setting, you just need to make sure you unclick the white plus color, the white plus color box, and it will allow you to click that. You need to make sure that both white setting and color setting say 1. And then you want to have print color first and white plus color. You want to make sure all 4 that both say 1 and both boxes are checked. Reason being is you want the printer to print the color image first, and then you also want it to print a white background behind it, but you want it to do it in one pass. You don't want it to do a color image and then print a white background. So in order to do it this way, you want it to print color first plus the white plus color. So then you would just go ahead and press print, and that's pretty much it for setting up Acrorip. The next video I'll be showing you guys just DTF pressing, and then also curing the design.